Grand Rising family, welcome back. It's Shay Seeking, and today we're going to talk about the term endemic. Okay, it's saying it's an adjective. We're on this kick here because um, I was um, looking at the terms indigenous, native, aboriginal again. Um, just to put some things into perspective, a little order in the court. I've been dealing with some natives that may not know who they are because, again, I feel some type of way because just as we were, what do you call it? Just as we were misled, these people have been misled as well. The only thing that's different between these people and us is everything was stripped from us totally. Where some of these people have some of the ancient ones in their so called tribes that may still have or dabble in their language a little bit again. Um, so when they went to, we don't know what type of things were going on when they were removing the children from the homes. There was a lot of mixture, amalgamation going on amongst these people, breeding, as one may say. We do see in the Carlisle schools that a lot of people ex- uh, like to speak of as if these were only native children, where there were some indigenous and original children involved in as well. You can see them in the back. Okay, just like you can see them in the back of the bus, you can see them in the back of the images that they show of these people in the Carlisle school. A lot of them did have their hair straightened or something to that manner in these images, but you can still see the hue of the skin, and you can still see that their hair would resemble someone today that would be an aborigine or so-called black person that has a perm or straightening comb to their head. Okay. So again, we see this term endemic. I think I was looking up native, and this term came up as a related term. And since it's kind of short, and I only have like 8% on the phone, I decided to go ahead and just throw this one out there real quick. And then when we come back to it, later on, we'll, again, okay. So particular to a people or locality. 1950, Greek endemos, okay, native, okay, a native dwelling in a place, okay. So just because you dwell or inhabit or are formed in a place does not mean that you are original to that place. I have a video that I did, I think it was a thorough video on the fact that it was an old book, probably from the 1800s or so, that was speaking about the fact that the land was not taken from the natives. The land was taken from the aboriginal or original people of the Americas, okay? These natives are just a pawn in the game. That term wasn't even really branded and used until the 1970s. Prior to that, there was really not really a such thing as a Native American person. Okay, know that. Okay, so it's saying to a native dwelling. Well, we know that a native dwelling, well, anything native can be something that has been carried from one place and planted or placed in another area and can attach to that land or be put there, okay, and become a native person just because they were born in a certain area, okay. They and a native can never be an original. They can only be native, okay, not the original. Okay. So again, I'm not saying this, the terms, the books of antiquity Of course, they're not going to talk that much about the origine or so called American Negro because they are trying to give you the appearance that these natives are the original, and that's not the case. But see, the thing is, instead of these people coming into our groups, like we're having an infestation of some of these critters or creatures in the group, okay? That they have nothing better to do, which they should be going ahead and looking at their information to see where they actually come from before they come for us. Okay, because again, they're putting out certain things to try to get to our emotions. And in our group, we don't deal off of emotions, we deal with information. So that's not going to work. Okay. So, anyhow, dwelling in a place of or belonging to a people. Okay? Again, who are the people? We know that later on in latter days, in the 1800s, which I think one of these terms are later on used, okay? When we're talking about people in the United States, we're talking about foreigners, okay? They don't give you the title Aborigines of people. When they're talking we the people this and that, they are talking about them, not you. Okay? So again, that would be them and their children. So these natives, again, which are also were slaves or property of these U.S. officials, okay? And still are. This is why they've been taken care of to a certain extent. And it's so funny, these people find the time to come attack us when we've had everything stripped from us and they want to talk bad about us. And we've been misled possibly the most, again, because we are the originals. There's no other reason to do it the way that they've done. Okay. But you need to take care of what you have going on in your area. It's funny how there's such a small population of this group of people, okay? But some of these people are in bad shape, meaning a lot of them have been given back their lands. They've been given the right to rule over themselves. They have been given things. This is what I always say about other groups of people that try to come into our group and talk that talk, okay? You've been given things back and you're still depleting. Your leaders still take the money and have certain other groups. And it may not be your group, but it could be another group of these individuals that see other natives struggling and going through a thing, and they're filling their pockets with this casino money, which again is a joke. Okay. Okay. Same thing I feel about any type of reparations or 357, whatever the fuck they talking about. I'm not even paying attention, really. Okay. Because again, I don't want any of that. You can go ahead and give me my information and records on my lineage, and you can go ahead and give me whatever the fuck they owned and they had back. Okay, then you can leave me the hell alone and remove me from your system and take your birth certificate and your social security and all this other shit back. Okay, these are the things I'm talking about. Okay, so because we will catch up. See, a lot of us think that financial gain would help you when a lot of people in our communities are not even ready to receive that money. You will deplenish that fucking money and be sitting there looking stupid, just like these groups of people that feel that it's necessary to come and see what we're doing instead of focusing on them and their own people. Okay, same thing when it comes to Africans coming over here telling us what we should do. Focus on and stay in your country and build in your country before you come talking to me. Okay, because you have been given rights and privileges, because you don't understand that some of the people that the reason why you're able to come over here and get the gifts and the funding that you are receiving is because these people at the top would rather give it to anyone, because you are all his children. He would rather give it to anyone but give it to the originals, okay? First of all, they know that we can make a comeback because we've already done it several times, even though we supposedly came from nothing. And everything we've been taught about ourselves has been a lie. And everything that we had was stripped from us, okay? Okay? So I find it funny that people are still rich in their culture, but they're worried about what we should be doing, okay? So again, the whole thing with them coming over here saying we're just lazy and all this. You don't understand that there is a structure set up to keep our hands off of anything. But again, you are no threat to them, so they allow you to come over here just like any other foreigner to obtain something of our land because we don't know who we are, but that's okay. Because things are turning around, okay? So again, let's see. Of belonging to a people from in or in. Now, I haven't looked at these terms yet, but I'm guessing that this has something to do with being entered or submitted or planted or lodged into a place or people, okay? People, district, okay? Could we be talking District of Columbia? Just saying. Again, endemic of or relating to a dis-ease or disease. Again, it was a dis-ease to the original people, having all of these people coming in so that they can reign like God wanted them to in Genesis 2, subdue like he wanted them to do in Genesis 1, and to replenish, meaning and add seasons to it. We're going to get all into all of that with these terms here, okay? So again, the whole attack of the whole entire world has benefited off of the Americas. So again, they know who you are. They just don't want you to, okay? Because when you do realize it, they ass is grass. Matter of fact, oops, they are grass because they are just the grasses that we talk about in the Bible. And they are also the offspring again. So the thing is, they don't understand that some of them would not be here if it wasn't for the American Aborigine, especially the uh, female, okay? Supposedly, because we know what that term can be interchangeable for. But again, the so called black woman, the earth. Okay? So, a lot of these people wouldn't even exist if it wasn't from coming through one of the roots of our fucking trees and be that fruit that would be hanging for them to pluck off and use it for produce or to produce, see, whatever they have going on here. Okay? Let's see. Of or relating to a disease or anything resembling a disease. That is like a fungus. So same way we are a disease to them and they don't want to come into your, some of these people would not want to marry or have children with you, is the same way that, again, our ancestors would have looked at them as a disease or a dis-ease on the people. Okay? I'm just saying. Okay? There's no prejudice in me. I'm just stating what I see. Okay? So anything, okay, so yeah, anyway, sorry. Constantly represent the greater or lesser extent in a particular locality. Okay? Let's see, native to or confined to a certain region. So when we hear people saying that some of these natives have a special DNA code or makeup that you can only find in the Americas, that is because they are the only ones that came in the way they did, mixed with the origines the way that they did. And so of America, okay, so you can only find that distinct group of people in this in this land, and there's nothing more and nothing less. So they have created a certain group of people that you can really only find in the Americas because of the work of the origines of America and those who may have came here possibly through the Bering Strait, but who knows? Okay. So again, this makes a certain strain of people, okay, that their DNA can really, even though they came from a place like Siberia, or they dealt with the Mongolians, or if that's who they are, they have a distinct bloodline marker that can only be found in America because of that mixture with the American Aborigine, I feel, okay, or another group that was produced out of the womb of the earth, or the American Aboriginal woman, okay. Again, let's see. And then they are confined, again, put into reservations to reserve that image in that bloodline so that later on they can try to test your ass that they trying to tell came from Africa, okay? They can tell you that you don't match. Because I think also in the 70s, they came up with some of these native tribes in the United States government who was their daddy. That's what they used to call him, the Great Father, okay? Those groups went in to keep the so-called black Indians out, okay? To try to keep them out from getting the funds, the land, the resources, and whatever. Okay, so that now they want you to test to these people's DNA, but again, this could be from one of the original tribes that they ended up doing a genocide on, and these groups don't exist really. Some of the groups that they say don't exist are just Negroes now. That's just it. Okay, so let's see. Let's see. So confined to a certain region. Again, we would say maybe to the west to a certain extent. Okay. And then here it is, endemic adjective, originating where it is found. Again, so they're going to find these people here, and so that's where they originated. But again, that doesn't make them the original. Another thing I want to state is that they should not be testing your DNA to those particular people. They should go back and test your DNA to Lucia or whatever the fuck her name is, or any other of these bones that they digging up, claiming that they found them in ancient Egypt, which is really modern day Egypt, because ancient Egypt was in America. Okay? Or a portion of it was. Okay? So, originating where it was found. Okay? A disease that is constantly present to a greater or lesser degree in people of certain class. Again, here we go talking about the caste system again, or classism, where they have us fighting over race, being racist, or racism, okay? When in their eyes, they don't really see race, just like they don't really deal with funds and money. They have us fighting over and working hard for those particular things in the lower realm, okay? The untouchables and even the Sudra. But again, they have the perception that they matter to the people higher up, okay, with so-called white supremacy and all of these things, when again, they don't matter either. And when they get to, it even talks about it in the Bible in a sense of joining with another group and causing problems, or even in a historical matter, like the abolitionists and everything like this that came along, that were a mixed group of people, like this whole so-called Black Lives Matter. So again, I'm showing you these things because they've happened over time, supposedly. But again, I always have my wall up, because who knows if these things were propaganda filled in the past, or a planned crisis, or something that's the sort. Because the people, again, there's nothing new under these sons of these gods. It just doesn't happen. They do everything the same way all the time. This is why I don't see why we fall for it every time, and we don't do our own thing to make sure we get a different result sometimes. Okay? So let's keep going. So again, lesser, and see, we use the term degree, because I'm going to go into some things that I found about Freemasonry and the certain groups like daughters. Okay, so then it made me think about the daughters of Zion and all these other things. So we're going to go into that in a minute, well, later. Okay. So again, of people, again, so that would not be including some groups, okay? Um, Especially the so-called Negroes, but again, I'm wondering who the real Negroes were, okay? So of a certain class or people, or in people living in a particular location. And then here we go with the noun. These are the two nouns, actually. And then this one is endemic as a noun, a plant that is native to a certain limited area. Now, that, my friend, is what I'm talking about. These people are native, okay, and to a certain limited area, okay. You can only find some of these bloodlines in America, okay. But again, the archetype, which is everything is was supposedly trying to be formed um, after, okay, would be the original, okay. So let's see. So here are some related terms, or even some of it being broken down, like duh or day, d. To divide. Again, here we go with the divide and conquer. That's about classism. They have us focused on race, okay? But again, these people at the top know that they're not doing this to you because of your race. It is because of who you are, okay? And what they've done to you, and what they have in the clutches of their claws, like that American eagle, possibly again might be ripped from them, okay. So let's see. To divide, sorry, it forms all parts of be tied, daemon or demon, ick, the element of making adjective having to do with or having the, again, even if that makes me think about the endemic, okay, or British, or you see what I'm saying? Okay, so demotic, of or belonging to the people, especially pertaining to the common people. Okay. Okay, again, I'm not going to stress this one out too much. Looks like we did get through it with enough time, but I'm just trying to go ahead and bring order, okay? Damn near order out of chaos, like we've been talking about in the other videos, okay? So, demotic, okay, of or belonging to the people, especially pertaining to the common people, popular, vulgar, 1822, from Latinized form of Greek, demotikos. Where did I just see that term at somewhere? I don't know. Of or for the common people. So of or for the now, what are these common people? Are these the commoners and the peasants and the servants that we're talking about in the Sudra, in the caste system? Okay, again, it talks about to make something full. So when God said go and fill the earth, what was he talking about? And we're going to even talk about in one of these terms about the seasoning of. Okay, we don't understand that that is just an additive. Even when we're talking about the bread and the leavened bread and the unleavened bread, that it's talking about altering the appearance of. Okay, so okay, for their benefit, okay? So Latinized from Greek, of or for the common people, common use, common people, originally a district, division, root, to divide. Originally in English, it was used in reference to the simpler of two forms. So again, the simpler of two forms of ancient Egyptian writing. Wonder if we're talking about ancient Egyptian people as well. And notice they put that term in ancient Egypt because whenever they make sure, I'm not talking about Egyptology, I'm not talking about modern day Egypt. I'm talking about ancient Egypt. Whenever they make sure to put ancient in front of it, look to the Americas and all the shit that's hiding. I even saw somebody put up a post of obviously an Egyptian figure in the fucking Grand Canyon. And I've already brought up information and artifacts and things that have been found over the past year or so through the channel in America and on my Facebook page and my group. Well, maybe not so much in the group because it's newer, but I've already put stuff about this over the years. Okay. So let's see. Opposed to heretic or hieroglyphic. The broader sense is in 1831. Again, there was a lot of shit going on in 1831. A lot of stuff with especially John Brown and the things that we've talked about previously on this channel. Okay. Let's see. Demotic of or for the common people. Again, is this for food? See, you know what I'm saying? Because the common people benefited from Native Americans because they had a tie to them because some of these natives have origins with these Europeans. These seamen were their fathers. So they have a maritime connection. Okay? So, again, even when they saw them being too goody-goody with you, coming from the probably leaving the womb of an original woman, okay, and then they would come back into the tribes and come and grab these children up at the age of 7 or 8, take them to the reformatory schools or take them to another country in order to educate them, bring them back years later, not knowing, reprogramming or using a form of brainwashing, and then bring them back, and then these particular people will help slaughter the rest of their the people in the villages. Okay, not knowing that they're going to slaughter their own people. Ain't that some dirty fucking work? Okay. Okay. Demotic noun, a simplified cursive form of the ancient heretic script, the modern Greek vernacular, of or written in or belonging to the form. Okay, here we go about forming anything, but it brings me back to the forming of a man in Genesis. Okay, and the forming of this whole thing that they formed on top of our ruin. Okay, so let's see. To divide, we already seen that. Let's see. Flattering courtier, Dionysus. I, tyrant. Let's see. His name in Greek. So anyway, you guys can, I'm getting so tired, I can't function. So, and I really haven't been taking, anything for my, whatever. So I'm just kind of like out of it. But again, you guys get the drift, okay? A democracy is another related term. Government by the people, system government in which sovereign power is. Again, you get the gist of it. You guys can go deeper. Yeah. So, let's see. Okay, we're going into epidemic, but again, what we're really talking about, because this is not the first one, okay? It's not even the second, third. I mean, this is like something that they do. And deal and see that when we're talking about a pandemic, we're dealing with the god of Pan, possibly, okay? So, again, I'm sorry. I don't want to be rambling on, but I just wanted to do that. I'm glad we got it over with. Again, go ahead and hit the thumbs up. If you're already on the channel, hit the notification bell. Also, again, you know, the channel is American Aborigines Unchained, but we also have a Facebook group with the same name. You can find me on Instagram under Shay_seeking for more information like this. But the group, again, is a lot of different people sharing information, not just me. Let's see. Um, yeah. So again, and as much as you guys can hit that thumbs up, if you're enjoying the content, or if you know, found something here that, you know, you wanted to hear, needed to hear, or whatnot, please do that, because whenever I put a video up, YouTube, since it's bots over here and they put up these random, like 1 minute after I put the video up, they always come and put these bots in. And they'll say, "Oh, let's be friends," or something goofy like that. And the thing is, they're sending these things out to put a dent in the algorithm for my channel. Again, I have such a small channel, I don't know why, but I'm guessing, again, after doing a little bit of research, that it may have something to do with the keywords or something like this, that just automatically, you know, targets pages and groups and things like this. Okay, so again, it would help if people hit the thumbs up, because then it will help after getting those dings, it will help, you know, lift the channel back up. So, all right, y'all, it's late and y'all know I need to go to bed. So thanks a lot for listening and take care. Bye.